James Ellsworth, the man to beat AJ Styles not once, not twice, but 3 times, the real winner of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And you're listening to ANC Podcast. Very young age. I was like 4 or 5 years old, 1988, 1981. The first wrestlers I remember seeing were the Ultimate Warrior and Ricky Morton. I would watch both WWF and the NWA. And those were the 2 wrestlers like I remember first paying attention to and seeing.
Okay. I gotta ask, what shirt do you have on?
Oh, it's a tour shirt from a tour we did in Europe for WWE. I'm on here somewhere, I think. Next to Carmella. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
And a good gym shirt.
Good shit.
Good gym
So,
shirt.
so James, you started wrestling. At what age? What age did you actually get into the wrestling ring, and who trained you?
So I started wrestling at 17. 4 days after I graduated high school, I started going to wrestling school, and I was trained by a guy I think you know. His name was Axelrod, also an ECW original.
Ooh. Rest his soul. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm very lucky to be trained by him. A lot of people know him as like a hardcore guy from ECW and all that, but you know, that's what made him popular. And he really knew his stuff. He was very old school. He worked the Memphis territories and all that. And I was very fortunate to be trained by him.
Wow.
Good shit.
That's nice, man.
That's what's up.
What made you decide on the name Pretty Jimmy Dream?
So on the independents, man, you try to get noticed. And, you know, I got what I noticed for a long time. But I was like, man, I need a gimmick. And I had a tag partner named Adam Ugly. I was like, we need a gimmick. We need something. So I was like, what? You know, I understand I'm not the most GQ looking guy. So I was like, what if I act like I'm the prettiest guy in the world, and I just dial myself up or whatever, and I'll be Pretty Jimmy, and you'll be Adam Ugly, and we'll be Pretty Ugly, team of Pretty Ugly. And man, it was a lot of fun. I really think we were before our time, because we did that gimmick before the indies blew up to what it is now, where you know we got all this social media, which is a blessing and a curse. And right. You know, if we had the gimmick on social media these days, doing all the promos that we did 15 years ago, I think as a team we would have made a name for ourselves. But yeah, that's what gave me the name. I just needed something. I was just Jimmy Dream, and I used the name Jimmy Dream because wrestling was my dream, and you know, my first name's Jimmy, so you're always looking for something to make yourself interesting.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Now, do you have your own promotion, James?
Yes. Drillin' Championship Wrestling in Maryland. DrillinWrestling.com if you want to check it out. Right now we're not allowed to run because there's this thing called the pandemic, as I like to call it, not pandemic, pandemic. And Maryland has one of the more strict athletic commissions, and they absolutely would not let us run right now. That's why I'm out here in Nashville wrestling all the Tennessee independents. I promise you, in the last year, I've probably wrestled 20 different promotions in Tennessee because they've been open the whole time.
Wow.
So, and I love to perform, man, on any level. I just love to do it. So I've been keeping busy during the whole pandemic.
That's good.
Pandemic. And yeah, just where I live in Maryland, we're not allowed to do anything. It absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, sucks.
Man.
Wow, that's what's up. I got a question for you. So you work for CZM in New Jersey? Is that the name of it? I can't think of the name of it right now. Yes, there it is.
Yeah, so a lot of people will bring that up, that I've worked for CZW. It's not like I worked there a lot, but in the mid 2000s, there's a gentleman by the name of Ruckus. If you've never seen Ruckus wrestle, please look.
I've heard of him. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God, the most just underrated, unsigned talent ever. He should have been signed a long time ago. Again, he was before his time. He could do anything Ricochet does or any of those guys. And
wow.
Yeah, look him up, Ruckus. But anyway, I would go up to CZW with Ruckus. I would get used every now and then. And I do a lot of these interviews, and they'll bring that up. Like, hey, I see you work for Combat Zone Wrestling. I'm like, yeah, not really. But yes, I mean, I did some shows here and there for them. But I don't even know if they're around anymore. I haven't really.
I haven't heard much from them. Yeah. But I do remember them. when I was a couple of years ago. I just remember him, and I saw where you worked for them and everything, and so I was wondering, how you got into that, and was it like a lot of hardcore stuff going on, or did they actually do some? Because I didn't really watch them. I couldn't really watch them. I just know that they were really into a lot of hardcore shit, and so I was just wondering, were you a part of that also?
I'd say I'm not a big fan of the light tubes and the barbed wire. To each his own. I get there's a market for that, and especially the mid 2000s, they were making so much money on having those death matches and all of that.
Right.
I hear that, I think here it is 15 years later. I think my personal humbled opinion that kind of stuff that's ran its course. You can only watch a car crash so many times, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, I never wanted to do that kind of thing. Like anytime I wrestled there was just regular matches. I wasn't in. I mean, I was offered to do them. I actually, when I left WWE the first time before going back, that's funny you bring that up. The owner of CZW called me and said, "Hey, would you be willing to do a death match?" And I was like, I get it. It'd be funny for the James Ellsworth character to be put in this position where he's going to get murdered. I was like, I think I told him I was booked that day. Like I took the cheap way out. I was like, I'm booked that day, brother. Sorry.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, Drew.
Now, James, if I'm not mistaken, you were a Rosebud with Adam Rose.
Yeah.
How was your experience during that?
So, anytime WWE comes to your area, if you're an independent wrestler, you can contact them, and anybody can do it. I'll be quite honest with you. They're not looking for not looking for quality or quantity or however you put that saying. They're just looking for bodies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so anytime they came to the area, I would send my stuff or whatever, email them, and they would, use me or whatever. And I got to be a Rosebud a couple times for Adam Rose, and so did a lot of independent wrestlers. And that was fun. I remember walking out in front of the audience for the first time in WWE in my little cheeseburger outfit with Adam Rose, and I'm like, I remember walking out and seeing the crowd and going, man, I need to get here. Like screw this just busted my butt, and it's got to lead to something, right?
Yeah.
Like I started getting mad at myself. I was like, I'm busting my butt on the independents, have been for over a decade. Like, how do I get here? I was like, I know I'm 5'8", I know I'm 160 pounds. I know, I'm not gonna, like I said, be on GQ magazine, but there's got to be somehow, some way I get here, because this is what I want to do, and that's what I got out of being a Rosebud.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Now, what was your first matchup with Braun like?
Man, so that was just a crazy day. Like I said, when you go there as an extra talent, you could be used for anything. You could be used as a Rosebud. You could be used as a security guard. You could be used as a doctor. You could be used as a guy that gets squashed.
Yes.
So you're a movie extra. You really don't matter. You're in the background. Doesn't matter what they do. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about their guy. So, Arn Anderson had all the extra talent guys that day, and he goes, "All right, guys, whoever throws the best punch gets the match for Braun tonight. We're reintroducing Braun without the Wyatts, and whoever throws the best punch gets the match." He's like, "I'll start with the smallest guy. I guess you're the smallest guy, which is me." It's like, throw a punch, and I threw a punch, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't need to see anybody else's. You get the match." And I'm like, "Whoa,
really?
Man,
nice."
And this is Arn Anderson, so it was just the biggest compliment to this day I think I've ever got in wrestling. So, so we get in the ring, and I'm talking over the match with Braun, and the reason why he had me throw a punch because whoever was wrestling Braun had to throw 2 punches on him, and so I'm in the ring with Braun, I'm talking to him or whatever, and then one of the writers come up, they're like, "Yeah, we're doing this thing every week where Braun squashes a local competitor, and we're going to let the local competitor say his last words before getting executed, basically. So you'll get a little promo." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Oh man, this is my dream. I get to hold the WWE microphone and talking to the camera." And I was like, this is cool. I was like, this is probably the only time I get to do this. So I was like, I'm going to make the best of it. So they give me the promo, and I'm reading through it, and I was like, "Hey, I know I'm punching him twice. Can I say this line that I say on, sometimes it's called," I was like, "Sometimes I say any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance." Good underdog line I use. They're like, "Oh yeah, that works with this. That's cool. Yeah, you could say it." And they were just like, I'm like, it was Jimmy Jacobs was the writer, and he's a wrestler too. He's a wrestler's wrestler. Been wrestling in the independents for years. And if he would have told me no, I would have never said that line. So thank God he let me say. Thank God he let me do it. So I said the line. And it caught Vince's attention. Vince watched it on the monitor, and then we have the minute 29-second match where he's just throwing me around and squashing me, and I'm selling my ass off for him. I'm like, that was my goal. Was this to me? This was going to be my only match ever in WWE. So I just want to do a good job. I want to sell the best I can for this guy. I want to cut the best promo I can cut. All this. So after the match was over, I get to the back and. They were like, Vince wants to see you. I'm like, man, what did I do wrong? Stuff like I'm scared to death. I'm like, what did I? So I see Vince was like, hey pal, good job. He's like, I'm gonna be in touch with you. And I was like, what? And I was like, what? So I go to catering and all the boys are telling me good job and all. And it's like a movie where I hear them, but I'm not really hearing. Like I sit down. I'm like, did he just tell me he's gonna be in touch with me? Like, what does that mean? So. Every week for 6 weeks, WWE was sending me stuff, ideas, and all this, and like as the weeks went by, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I'm like, man, they're just gonna forget about me. This ain't gonna amount to anything. I said, but it was cool. I caught their attention. Maybe it's something in the future. And then like the sixth week, they flew me out. They invited me. It was Philadelphia, and I live in Baltimore, so it was only an hour and a half drive, so it was very convenient. They told me to be at SmackDown, and then when I got there, they're like, yeah, we're gonna advertise you and AJ Styles against John Cena and Dean Ambrose tonight. I'm like, what?
Whoa.
and then they did something where the Miz beat me up and took my spot in the match, and he wound up teaming with AJ. And they were like, yeah, we'll bring you back in a couple weeks and you'll wrestle the Miz. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, that'll be easy. The Miz he's so easy to wrestle. So I come back like. And a month later, things change there, man. Like it's so crazy how quick things change. Come back, they're like, yeah, change the plans. You're gonna wrestle AJ, and Ambrose is gonna be the referee, and he's gonna make sure you win the match. And we're gonna go ahead and start doing stuff with you and sign you. I'm like, huh? Wait, whoa, what? This is like
nice.
happening so fast.
Man.
It was so crazy. Like I really think. Like my life's just been so crazy, just my whole life, and I'm a humble guy. I'm like I try to be nice to everyone. Like like Chili was an ECW, and I respect that. And when you guys hit me up for this, I'm like, my trainer was an ECW, and this is a guy he worked with, so I'm going to do the podcast. I'm not gonna, nice. That's the kind of guy I try to be. And so like all this stuff is happening. I'm like, man, what? And I really have had a crazy life. I really haven't got into it because I'm hoping in the future there's a book or a movie or something. And I'm like, man, just if people really knew what I've been through in my life, they would be like, wow, they're good for this guy. And so yeah, it was great, man. I had a great time there. I got to be on TV there 2016, 2017, and 2018. So for 3 years, I was there on television doing memorable stuff. That's the key. Like you can be there 10 years and not do anything memorable. You could be forgotten about quick. Yeah. And like they put me in some angles and positions that are going to be remembered forever. Like when I did the women's Money in the Bank ladder match and like helped Carmella win. That since that was the first one ever and it was controversial finish. That's going to be remembered forever. Like 20 years from now, when they're doing the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, you're going to go, remember the first one they had the guy, cost all the other girls the match. And, and I get that, man. You got to have the memorable moments. That's what it's about. And I was very blessed to have all that.
Nice. I have a question also. I got a question, James. I have some students here in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines. And, cool. They're watching. I got one in particular. His name is Ken. We call him the Asian Nightmare. But for all the not just my students here in the Philippines, but all over, what advice would you tell the young up and comers? What would you tell them once they are invited to WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor? What would you tell them? Far as locker room etiquette, because you really that's where you make it or break it. I think when you go in and no one knows who the hell you are, especially in WWE, and you go to catering. If you don't say hello or whatever, introduce yourself, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So tell some of the younger kids that's coming up, what they should be doing and what they should not be doing, in your words.
Oh yeah, because I've done it all. I've done what you should do and I've done what you shouldn't do. So, first thing you got to do is go in there, introduce yourself to everybody, and just be humble, be nice. Like wrestling's just like any other job. There's going to be people that you love to see every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be people that you might not care for, that you have to work with. So if you just be respectful and be kind, it goes a long way. Everybody has their limits. Like I was always respectful and always kind. And then there was a couple of times where, somebody might say something, and I would just fire back. And maybe not fire back, just let them say their piece and just be calm, be cool, be collectful, pick and choose your battles. And just be yourself too, man. Be true to yourself. Like don't, I'm not sitting here saying let anybody walk over you or bully you. There's not a lot of that going on in the WWE locker room anymore anyway. It's pretty chill now. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Like we live in a different era where it's a sensitivity thing, and so it's actually becoming hard. Like the good thing about it is there's not a lot of bullying or anything because of how things are, so that's good. But yeah, just be cool. It's as simple as that. Be cool. Don't lose your cool. Like I tried not to lose my cool. And I did there once or twice and I regret it, but I'm doing anything too stupid. But it's just, you got to be cool, man. No matter what, just be cool. Do your thing. You're there to because if you like me, I was there 3 years and I did very well. And maybe if I was cooler, I'd have been there 10 years. I don't know. It's not up to you. And it no matter how good you're doing, it's still not up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so always tell people that the best advice I give people getting into the business is find someone to train with that has done this on a high level, that has worked for WWE or ECW, such as yourself, or Impact, or WCW, or like a guy that did this on a high level, and get trained by them, because that's the people you want to learn from, the people that have been there and done that. You want to be in that spot, so you got to find the people. Like there's so many wrestling schools out there that the people training people, and they haven't really done much, and that they could probably teach you to bump and hit the ropes and sell a little bit, but they haven't been to the high level, man. I'd rather learn batting practice from Mike Trout than some guy that was just in AA ball, or and that's exactly. It's a very crazy business. There's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I've experienced so many ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride, and you got to be mentally tough more than anything. You got to have thick skin. Thank God I'm blessed. I have thick skin, and I don't let anything get to me. You got to ignore all the noise. Because at the end of the day, man, you have to deal with you 24/7. So you have to just all that nonsense, that negativity that might be around the business, you have to just ignore it, and you have to have fun. That's the main advice right there. Have fun with this. This is supposed to be fun. This is a performance. This is performing arts. It's just supposed to be a good time. Have a good time with the boys, have a good time with the fans, have a good time with everybody, and hopefully in return everyone will have a good time with you back.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
I got a two-part question for you, James. How bad did the styles clash off the steel steps to the concrete floor hurt, and how bad did Braun Strowman's strike to your chest hurt?
So I'll start with the Braun Strowman strike to the chest. It's the club to the chest there. It's funny you bring that up. So if you go back to watch that, when he clubs me to the chest, it looks like I take the most beautiful back bump you've ever seen, right? I would love to credit myself for that, but he hit me so hard that wasn't a back bump. That was just me hitting the mat.
Oh my God.
And I've never been hit so hard in my life. I'm so glad you brought that up, because nobody has ever brought that up, that club he gave me to the chest. And it was the hardest I've ever been hit. It Like, I'd hate to, yeah, dude, like, because they told him, they're like, this is your debut, you gotta lay it in. You know, the cameras are right up on you, you gotta lay it in.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, sorry, kid. I'm like, oh man, I can take it. What, he hit me with that? Like, it just felt like, you ever just run into like a pole or a wall or something, and you just so. And then the Styles Clash off the steps, that was just a ball buster. Like, I just right on the nuts.
Oh man.
So other than that, it felt okay. But you know, it was a ball buster for sure.
Man,
Wow.
that's crazy, man. Where did the name No Chin Music for your signature move? Where did that come from?
So they knew I was hitting a super kick. They were watching indie film of me, and they're like, "You throw like a really unique super kick. Maybe we do that as your finish." I'm like, "Yeah, I can call." I just joking around. I go, "Yeah, I can call it No Chin Music." And Triple H and Michael Hayes and all those guys just laughed. Next thing I know, when I watched the match back, David Otunga, who I love, he's underrated as a commentator. Nobody ever brings him up. I hit AJ with the No Chin Music, and James Otunga on commentary just goes, he hit him with No Chin Music. I'm like, oh my God, they used that? Like, that was the crazy thing to me, man. Like they were using all the stuff I came up with. Any man with two hands is a fighting chance. That was my line. No Chin Music. I came up with that as a joke, and they used it. I'm like, man, like, am I more creative than I give myself credit for? Like, they're just using all this stuff, you know? Like, that was cool.
Awesome.
Where did your idea for the super kick as your finish come along from?
Well, you know, I like, it wasn't my finish on the Indies or nothing. I just did it because I just like everybody else, big Shawn Michaels fan. You know, it's sad, like, what the super kicks become. Like, it's just a 2 count.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a 2 count. Well, a lot of stuff is just, dude, I was watching wrestling the other day. I won't say what show, but I saw a guy, and I won't say what wrestlers. I hate stooge on anybody, but like, I saw a match where a guy hit a springboard, diamond cutter, RKO, whatever you call it, got a 2 count, got up, and the next spot he hit the same guy with a Canadian destroyer and got a 2 count. And I remember sitting there and I turned it off. And like, I was so bad, like, because the ring's supposed to hurt, right? Like, doesn't the ring hurt?
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
If somebody does a flipping pile driver on your head, should you not only get pinned, shouldn't they just have to carry you to the back, you know, or like, so and that the super kicks, it's no different than an arm drag now, man. It sucks. Like,
wow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Shawn Michaels made this a finisher that every fan accepted. If the fans are accepting this move as a finisher, why would you bury it and not finish anybody off with it? It's been accepted for years as a finisher, you know.
Yes.
And,
hello, Andrew. Oh, come on.
We can still hear each other.
Hello.
What
happened?
We can hear each other.
I can hear you.
Testing.
There you go.
You guys there?
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay. I think it was me. But anyway, I got a question for you. If you you're not nowhere. I mean, you're not under WWE contract, so that means you can go anywhere and wrestle. If by any chance or one of the other companies asks you to go there, which would you pick? Like, what would be which one would be your top pick besides WWE?
Well, I guess Ring of Honor, because the dojo's 10 minutes from my house.
All right. That's a good one. Yeah, all right.
Man. But I'm willing to, my heart's always going to be with WWE. That was my dream growing up. I mean, like, Vince McMahon's side of me changed my life, dude. Like, I saved all my money.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm very blessed. I have 2 daughters. I have a fiance. So, you know, and I'm in my late 30s. Nice. Like, I in the future, like, the stuff I did with Carmella as her, like, manager per se, like, it was so good. Like, I'm like, in the future, man, that's what I, like, you know, I'm getting older. Like, I want to do that, be a heater for somebody, a manager, like a mouthpiece. And maybe I could be the next Jim Cornette or Jimmy Hart or Bobby the Brain Heenan or Paul Heyman or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like,
are you doing that on the indies, or are you Like, are you managing anyone on the indies, anything like that? Or you just wrestling?
Yeah, I'm still doing the, I'm James Ellsworth from WWE thing, wrestling. But
Okay,
after, like, let's say I'm not on TV for a couple more years, then you yourself have to make it happen. Like,
Yeah.
So like right now, people, I haven't been off TV very long. It's been like 2 years. So like people still remember everything. It's very fresh still. So I can, do the indies and, people will be like, oh man, I remember you did this WWE, that. No. But like in a couple of years, if time goes by, then I probably will have to find someone that I think has a lot of talent that needs a mouthpiece. It could use a man. Then you get the manager outfit done and you start doing the promos online, and maybe somebody notices it, So, but that is definitely a goal of mine. Like, because I think like with Carmella, man, it worked so well. She became so much more relevant when we did that angle together. Like that. What I mean by that is before we did that angle, she wasn't women's champion. She wasn't wrestling, on every SmackDown. And she's very, she's very smart, very beautiful, and very talented. But she was stuck. And then we started doing that thing. Next thing you know, she's Money in the Bank winner. She's women's champion. She's on every pay-per-view. She's beating Asuka back when hardly anyone beat Asuka. And like. So I'm like, man, I helped her do that. And she always gives me credit for it. Obviously, a lot of it was her, too. Like they saw something in her, which they should have because she's amazing. But, I'm like, man, if I helped that girl do that, I think I could do that for anyone that has talent. They need to have talent. I can't just pick anyone and help them become a star. They do need to have talent. But, yeah.
Yeah, that would work. That would help. That would help.
Yeah, I don't, man, I'm not a miracle worker by any means. But yeah, that's like my goal for the future is, man, like I got a guy I'm training now. See, I was just in the gym, believe it or not. But he's in there now. He's 6'10", 275 pounds. He's in great shape. Good looking guy. Big Trouble Ben Bishop. Look him up on Twitter. He's only been in a year and a half, so I've been training him the whole time. And that, after like 6 or 7 months of training him, I started getting him on shows. And he's, we're out here in Tennessee. We're in Nashville. We just did a show last night, doing a show today. So I'm kind of like, he's already had a tryout at the PC. He had a tryout at the PC. Yeah, last month or 2 days. So, he's already starting to get noticed a little bit, but we're just kind of doing regular indies right now. But eventually, man, like I thought about that, man, maybe I could be this guy's mouthpiece, but
you never know. I mean, because you well known, man. I mean, so that I would think that you could be anybody's mouthpiece, brother. I mean, for real, because you that thing with you and Carmella really, like you said, that really helped push her. But it was because of you. The fans took a liking to you, and so your name is out there, and so that's a good. Do you still keep in touch with Carmella or?
Yeah, man, really? Like she's very sweet, dude. She's very smart. She knows how to reinvent herself. But yeah, we keep in touch. Like my daughter's last birthday. She loves Carmella. She's 9 years. She's 9 years old, or she's going to be turning 9 here soon. But for her last birthday, I just text Carmella. I'm like, hey, can you send a video for my daughter? And I mean, she sent it right away. Beautiful video for her. Like just, we always stayed cool, man. We were cool the whole time we worked together, and we always stayed cool. And she's awesome. Like she had a match with Sasha Banks at TLC back in December. Great match. And I'm like, man, like they gotta, I was like, this should be her coming out party of like, now she can hang with Sasha Banks. Now she can hang with Bayley because she got so much better in the ring, Carmella. Now, and here it is a couple months later, and they're not doing as much with her again. I'm like, man, she proved to you guys that she could wrestle and hang with these girls now. So you should be, they gave her another guy, and that only lasted like 2 months. I mean, like what's the Eminem song, dude? There's a million of them just like me, but it's like, next best thing, but it's not quite me. Right. I think we're always going to be remembered for each other, and the guy was with, he's very talented, does a lot of flips and flops and floops, and So they're moving him on to something else, and I think he'll be, if they wanted to, they could make him a good baby face. But yeah, like, you know, I think it's time for her personally. I don't want to see her and go, man, they need to bring me back and put me with her. I don't think that at all. I think they need to put her on her own and give her more matches, and like just prove that she can hang with the other girls, which I think she did at TLC for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, man. If Vince McMahon called you or Tony Khan called you and they both gave you an offer to come back and have one more run, which one would you choose?
Oh, this is an easy answer, man. Whoever offers the most money. It's very. I mean, like I mean, at the end of the day, my heart's always with WWE, but it is a business, and you know, here's the thing, dude. I love performing on every level. I've performed in front of 7 people and 75,000 people and everything in between, and I just love to do it. Like, it's so fun, man. Like it comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of bull crap, but at the same time, man, when you're in the ring and you're performing, it's so much fun. It's the great, to me, the greatest art form in the world, and it's because it's so different from everything else.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, man, so it just, you know, if the right situation presented itself, obviously I would talk with anyone and listen to anyone, but you know, right now I've enjoyed the independence, and you know, like it's like today, man, I'll be wrestling again, and just wrestled last night. And it's fun to be on your own schedule and all that too. So no matter what, I consider myself blessed. Like, even if I never go on TV again, I had a tremendous run.
Right,
I get to do the independence the rest of my life if I choose to do so. And so I'm very blessed and grateful. And you know, we'll see what the future holds for sure.
Sure.
That's good, man. How many times a week are you working on the independence? How many days?
I'm back to like twice a week now. You know, the pandemic again,
right?
As I like to call it. Really hurt at first, but I started, dude, because I'm a hustler, man. I'm a grinder. I started looking. I was like, you know what states are open? What states are having wrestling? Right. And Oklahoma, Tennessee, you know, some states like are doing like the tapings, like Jersey, where there's no fans, and you guys there? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So Florida, I've been to Florida to wrestle. So I started looking up the states, and after a while, now it's been a year since the pandemic started happening. Like, it started getting back to, you know, once or twice a week, and you know, dude, which I love the schedule because I get to be home with my kids and put them on the school bus and do their virtual learning with them, because they're only going to school twice a week, and the other 3 days is virtual learning. So I'm really enjoying it right now. I'm in a good place right now. I'm not, you know, going to be content like this forever, but right now I'm enjoying it, enjoying the time with my kids, enjoying the independence, and I'm in a good place right now. But you know, as time goes on, I will definitely try to pursue, you know, more television and at least give it a try. So,
yes, sir.
Nice.
What would you tell a young kid whose dream it is to become a professional wrestler?
Tell them just don't even try. It's not worth it. Now, man, here's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, find a school where the guys training people have done this on a high level and know what they're talking about. That's first and foremost. Plus, man, it doesn't matter what your dream is. You get one life, man. You get 90 years or less, 99 out of 100 times. And you got to do what makes you happy. You got to do what you love to do. You got to pursue your dreams. Dude, if you feel like it can be the smallest thing. If you feel like getting up and having a slice of pizza, get up and have a slice of pizza. It's your life, and you got to enjoy it. You know, so that's no different than whatever your dream is. Like, man, I wanted to wrestle. When I graduated high school, I kid you not, I was 125 pounds. I'm 5'8". You know, and I think when I graduated, I was like 5'6". And I signed up for wrestling school. My dad, who I love dearly, he was like, I spent all my money, the graduation money people give you. They give you cards with money in it, and all your friends and family and all that. And I spent it all on going to wrestling school. He said, why are you wasting your money on wrestling school? He's like, you're going to either get hurt. He's like, you're not going to do anything with it. You're too small. And, you know, and like, again, I just, like, it is my own father telling me this. Again, like, I just, one ear out the other, you know, And so now my dad, he has my action figures hanging up in his living room.
There you go, man.
Nice,
You just gotta go for it. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice.
James,
what about?
Go ahead, Chili.
I got one last question. This is probably my last question. But what about going overseas, like to New Japan Wrestling? Have you been there, or do you want to go there? What's your thoughts on that?
I was in talks with DDT Pro Wrestling in Japan before the pandemic, so I like Japan. I went to Japan with WWE. It was a beautiful country, man, and yeah. So like the Philippines, where you at? I love it out there. I like traveling, man. That's another cool thing you get to do with this stuff. So yeah, man. Just like I said, my ears are open to anyone. If the right situation presents itself, I'm there. If it's gonna be fun and I'm gonna help, provide for my family off of it, I'm there. I'm there.
Nice.
That is real nice, man.
Go ahead, Andrew.
James, where can people find you on social media?
The only places you can find me are at Real Ellsworth on Twitter, James Ellsworth Wrestling on Instagram, and I do cameos, which those are great. Cameo.com, search James Ellsworth. Those are a lot of fun. I keep busy doing those.
Okay.
Nice.
Where's your next event going to be held at?
Well, I'm wrestling tonight and right outside of Nashville here in Morrison, Tennessee for Tennessee All Pro Wrestling. That is tonight. So
wow.
Nice. Good luck.
Yeah.
Who's
Yes,
on
sir.
card?
Good luck.
Let's see. Well, it's been. I think I'm the only name on the card. Just a bunch of local guys.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
I know in a couple of weeks I'm doing the WrestleMania signings with all the other names. I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In Tampa.
Okay.
So
nice.
Look for me in Tampa WrestleMania weekend. I'll be there.
There you go.
Nice.
That's real nice. Hey, James, me and Chili want to know if you could give us a shout out or cut us a little promo for the ANC podcast.
Cool, yeah. That'll be $20. I'm just kidding.
PayPal.
Just tell me when, and I'll get it done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You can do it right now.
Cool. It's the boy of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and you're listening to ANC Podcast.
Woo!
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James.
No problem.
Man, we appreciate you, man. And like I
yes,
said,
sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice to meet you, man. And I hope to see you. I really hope to see you on WWE again, man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe WrestleMania cameo appearance, something, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like there's those boogeyman hornswoggle kind of appearances every now and then.
Got to see you again, brother.
Yeah,
that's
man,
for sure.
Get me over to the Philippines. Talk to your friends in the Philippines. I'll come over there sometime.
Yes. Hey, we'd love to have you, man. Let's keep in touch, and we can do that after the pandemic or whatever. Because I don't want you to come over here, get stuck over here, and that wouldn't be good to your family.
Swim home.
Yeah, you know what I mean. but yeah, hey, man, we would love to have you over here. I'm in touch with a lot of the promoters over here, so there's only like 3. So yeah, we definitely love to have you over here. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Just let me know.
Awesome.
Keep in touch. Hit me up on here anytime, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you again, James. Thank you again.
All right, guys. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Nice.